Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
So, in previous class, we learnt all about surface tension, surface energy, excess of pressure in a drop, and the soap bubble. In the same manner, the rising of a air bubble in a lake. Okay, and then the cutting of the big drop into the small drop. Then what is the work done? So, these are all the topics we covered in a yesterday's class. Yes or no? So, my dear students, today we are going to be learn about the contact angle, okay, then rising of the capillary action, then viscosity, then velocity gradient, then terminal velocity. These are all the things we are going to be learned in today's class. Shall we start now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. So first we are going to learn about a contact angle. See here, contact angle. So my dears, whenever the capillaries is dip into the liquid, what will happen? The liquid is rising up, some of the liquid is fell down. Okay, it is only due to the cohesive and adhesive force. It is a relative terms of cohesive and adhesive force, whether it is rising up or falling down, or it exactly will touch to the surface of the liquid. Okay, are you getting my point? So here the contact angle is also play the prominent role to rising up and filling down of a liquid in a capillary tube. Okay, let's see one by one. It is a purely combination of the liquid and solid what we are taking. See here, first if we are taking as an water and glass, okay, water and glass combination. Once we are taking a water glass combination, what will happen? The capillary tube made with an glass is dip into the water. Okay, what will happen? See here, the water is going to be rising up here. The water is going to be rising up. Okay, like this. So why is going to be rising up? Because whenever the adhesive force is dominate the cohesive force, then what will happen? The liquid is rising up in the capillary tube. Okay, so here adhesive force, adhesive is greater than the cohesive. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? So if a same combination, the glass is taken here and we put the drop of the water on the glass plate, then what will happen? The drop will appears like this. Are you getting my point? Understood? If we are taking the combination as an glass and mercury, so that means mercury and glass combination, then what will happen? See here, so once we are taking the glass capillary tube and dip into the mercury, then what will happen? We know very well already, the mercury has the more cohesive force than the water. Yes or no? When the cohesive force is more, what will happen? Its area wants to be become a less. So that means all the molecules between the cohesive force is more comparing to the adhesive force which is attached to the other substance. Is it yes or no? So what will happen? Once the glass tube is dip into the mercury, immediately what will happen? It will be fell down like this. So it will come like this. It will be fell down. Are you getting my point? Got it? Understand? So if you are taking as an silver and water, combination of silver and water, the silver tube is dip into the water. The silver tube is dip into the water. Then what will happen? So see here, it exactly comes to the straight line. Neither it is rise up nor it is fell down. Completely it is exactly, it will comes as an surface of the water column, surface of the water. Are you getting my point? Here it is neither rise nor the fell down. Now if you are taking as an glass and pure water, glass and pure water, if you take the combination of glass and pure water, then what will happen? Once the glass is dipped into the pure water, see here, the water will going to be rising up here. Here also water is rising up, but it comes as an exactly hemisphere. This exactly comes as an hemisphere. Are you getting my point? It is also rising up. The water is rising up in the glass, but the shape will come as an exactly a hemisphere. So these shapes we can call as an meniscus. What we can call? Meniscus. The shape. See here. Here is an concave shape. It is an convex shape. It is an exactly straight line. Flat. Here is an hemisphere. These are the meniscus. What we can call? Meniscus. See here. Now all these things. Here adhesive force is greater than cohesive force. Here cohesive force is greater than adhesive, and here cohesive is equal to adhesive, and here adhesive is greater than cohesive. Are you getting my point? See, if you take the drop here, then this drop shape will come exactly like this. Almost it is round. So once we put the drop here on the silver, the water drop is put onto the silver plate, then what will happen? It will come like this. Now here it comes like this. Got it? Understand? So now what is contact angle here? So the contact angle is a angle between the liquid and the solid substance. Here what is the solids here? Is a capillary tube. Glass is a solid. Yes or no? So how we can define the contact angle? See here, first what we have to do? We have to draw the tangent. What we have to do? We have to draw a tangent at the interface where it is going to be touch. We have to draw the tangent through the liquid curvature. See here, we have to draw the tangent through the curvature, through the liquid curvature, and enclose the angle towards to the liquid. This angle we can call as an contact angle. Are you getting my point? See here how we can draw? See, so this total angle. See, here is an theta. Got it? So here exactly it is an 90 degrees. Yes or no? Got it? Here also we have to draw the tangent, and theta is enclosed towards the liquid. So if you want to draw here, how we can be draw? See here how we can be draw? All these things. See, we have to draw where the surface is touch here. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Here also we have to draw like this and towards to the angle theta. Here also, see here, this is the theta, and here also it is a theta. So actually it comes as an exactly like this. So it will be spreaded like this here. Actually it will be spreaded. So I made it zoom and you have to see. So actually it is spread completely onto the silver plate. Okay. So here how we draw on? No. We have to draw, see, like this, no? See, and towards to the liquid. This is the theta. Got it? So contact angle is a angle between the tangent through the curvature and enclosed with the liquid is called contact angle. Are you getting my point? Okay. So here, so whenever the adhesive force is greater than the cohesive force, then water will get wet to the glass. Okay. Here glass wet by water. here it will get wet, here not wet, here both are equal, so we can call as a critical wet. What we can call critical wet. Okay, here also it is an wet. So pure water is wet to glass, here critical wet, here the mercury does not wet the glass, here the water is wet the glass. Do you understand everyone what is the contact angle, everything, how to draw the angle and everything? So we are going to be, can you please make a note of this and we can continue the class. Okay, okay, now we can going to learn about the capillary rise. Capillary rise. See, whenever we already says that if a capillary tube is nothing but the tube which has the very small channels, that means very small narrow tube, we can call as an capillary tube. Whenever the capillary tube is deep into the liquid, what will happen? The liquid is going to be rising up. So the rising of the liquid we can call as an capillary rise. What we can call capillary rise. Are you getting my point? So it is due to the adhesive force. It is only due to the adhesive force. Whenever the adhesive force is more comparing to the cohesive force, what will happen? It will go up. Understand? So in capillary rise, we have to find out the what is the height the liquid is raised up. See, these capillaries in our day-to-day life, we saw in many times the rising of the liquids in the capillaries. So capillary rise, the definition, how can we write the capillary rise? The capillary rise is a rising of a liquid in a very small chambers or a channels due to the adhesive force is called as a capillary rise. You have to write in your own words. Okay. So why the liquid is rising up? See, if you are carefully observing our day-to-day life, the trees are there. Where we pour the water to the trees? Where? On the roots? Yes or no? So what will happen? The roots are very small and very thin. Yes or no? Very small narrow tubes it will have the very small narrow tubes. So what will happen? The water will going to be rising up in the roots of the tree and it will goes up. See, money plant is there. Yes or no? Money plant. The money plant is goes very high. Yes or no? It will be goes very high. So how the water is reached up to the topmost of the tree? It is only due to the capillaries which is present in the roots and stems. Got it? So if you take the stem and if you are cut it, the stem, if you see with a microscope, what will happen? The small narrow chambers will be there, very narrow channels. Okay, due to that narrow channels only the water is rising up. In the same manner, sponge is there, sponge. If any wet place are there, once we put it the see here, this is a sponge, right? So wherever the wet water is there, so just we have to put the, what will happen? If you put the sponge there, what will happen immediately? The water is going to be rising up immediately. Yes or no? Because if you carefully observe with the microscope, so what will happen? Small narrow channels will be there. Due to these narrow channels we can call as capillaries. So due to the capillaries only, the water is rising up in the sponge. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? In the same manner, the field is there. Yes or no? We are going to be plugging the field because to break the capillaries. So if the capillaries are there, what will happen in the field? Crop field is there, right? So if you are not flux, then what will happen? Due to the small capillaries, the water which will be there inside of the earth, it will comes out and it will be dry up. So due to make a wet of the field, what we are going to do? We are plugging and breaking out the capillaries. Are you getting my point? In the same manner, chimney is there, right? Chimney. We are pour the kerosene, and there is an thread. We are attached to that thread, and once we are light up, what will happen? It will be burned. So the kerosene will going to be rising up. Yes or no? This is also due to the capillary rise. Are you getting my point? So in the same manner, there are different things are there. For example, if you take the tissue paper, and if we take the two glasses, and tissue paper is put it into the one glass, and it is placed to the empty glass another side, then what will happen? Due to the capillaries present in the tissue papers, the water will be rising up, and it will be comes into the second glass until the both the level of the water will comes to the equal. These are all the things we are observed in our day to day life. Are you getting my point? So these are all the experiment. Can you please see once, then you can understand very clearly about what I said now, then we can continue. Can you please see the experiment, all these experiments? Dear students, in a glass we took a color water so that we can able to see the rising of the water in a capillary tube very clearly. See, once we are taking a capillary tube and dip into the water is rising up in the capillary tube. This is depends upon the diameter of the capillary tubes. Water is rising up more in a narrow capillary tube comparing to the wider diameter of the capillary tube. Now once we dip the capillary tube into the mercury, then see what will happen. The level of the mercury is depressed here. That means it is falling down to the actual level. See, it is clearly appears here. Once we dip the capillary tube in the mercury, the level of the mercury is falling down due to the more cohesive force comparing to the adhesive force. Okay, do you understand? Take two glasses, fill the water in one of the glass and left out another empty glass. Now you have to take a tissue paper and twist it up. Okay, after the twisting the paper, so keep the paper in two glasses. See here, the water is rising up through the capillaries of the tissue papers and falling down into the empty glass. See here, carefully observe. So now the water is coming down in the empty glass. So this water will be continuously comes out from the one glass to another glass, so that the level of the water glasses will be equal. Okay. So now you saw, right, all these experiments?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you better understand now. Yes or no? How the capillaries rise is be work. Okay. The phenomenon of capillary rise we can call as an capillarity. What we can call, my dears? Capillarity. Are you getting my point? So now we are going to be find out the height of the liquid column which is rises in the capillary tube. Okay, by the conceptual understanding. See here, we are taking the capillary. So I drawn here little bit big, but actually capillary tube is, I already said that, is a very narrow channel. Okay, so now see here, once I dip into the water, let's consider I dip into the water, what will happen? The water is going to be rising up like this here. Consider the water is raised here up to here. Now the question is, what is the, how much height is raised by the liquid? Okay, so how can we find out, my dears? See, very easy. We can go for the conceptual understanding. We can define this height in two different methods. Both the methods I am going to be explain you very clearly by the conceptual understanding. Okay, let's see here. What is the pressure here, my dears? Pressure here, P naught. Yes or no? Atmospheric pressure. What is the pressure here, my dear? Here also P naught. Yes or no? What is the pressure here? More than P naught or P naught? Okay, so it is also a P naught, not a more than P naught. It is also a P naught. Why? Because if it is on more than P naught, then what will happen? This liquid will not be in the equilibrium. It will comes down. Is it happening? No. Once it is rising up in the capillary, it will be stay in a rest. That means it will be in a equilibrium. That means here also P naught. Got it? What is the pressure here? Exactly here. just down to the convex curvature. In excess of pressure I said, right? So the pressure will be on more at concave side comparing to the convex. Now P naught is more. Here is how much, my dears? Here P naught minus rho g h. That is the main conceptual understanding here. See here the pressure is on P naught. It is on which side? Concave side. Concave side is on pressure more comparing to the convex side. So here in the convex side, just below the convex curvature, what is the pressure here? P naught minus this liquid column, the pressure of the liquid column, rho g h. Are you getting my point? This pressure difference, this both the pressure difference is equal to what, my dears? In previous class we learned it, right? It is an excess pressure. Yes or no? The pressure difference between these two, concave and convex curvature, pressure difference is we can call as an excess pressure. This excess pressure is equal to 2T by R. Yes or no? Yes, 2T by R. Yeah. So now here, see, here the pressure is in P naught. Once we go up, the conceptual understanding, we know that the pressure is decreases. When we go up, the pressure is decreases. How much, my dears? P naught minus this total, P naught minus rho g h is equal to this pressure difference is equal to what, my dears? It is equal to 2T by R. Yes or no? Excess pressure. This is also P naught, here also P naught. I am going vice versa to better understand. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Here also that's it. P naught minus this. When we go up also, P naught minus this. When we come from top to bottom is also the same thing. P naught minus rho g h. What will happen? P naught get cancelled. So how much it is? Rho g h is equal to 2T by R. Now here h is equal to how much, my dears? 2T by R rho g. This is the height. Here what we have to understand, what is the T here? Tension. What is R? What is R? Radius of a curvature. It is a radius of a curvature, right? Yes or no? It is a radius of a curvature. Yeah. It is a radius of curvature. Density of the liquid. Yes or no? But I don't know the radius of curvature how much. I don't know radius of curvature. But I know the radius of the capillary tube. I know the radius of capillary. Then how we can find out the h value? Very easy. See here. Can you please make it? See here. I'll draw here little big this. I'll make it zoom. I'll make it zoom here. So better understand. See here. This is the curvature. Yes or no? So this curvature radius, it will come here. See, if you go for the round shape, then the curvature radius will becomes here. The radius of the curvature. This only the radius of curvature, right? Yes or no, my dears?
Yes, sir.
This is the radius of curvature. This is the radius of curvature, and this is the radius of capillary tube. Yes or no? This is the radius of capillary tube. I know the radius of capillary tube R. Now see here. I draw the tangent and this is the angle. See now what will happen. See here. See what will happen here. If it is on theta, then it is 90 minus theta. Then it is how much, my dears? Theta. Are you getting my point? Then again this is 90 minus theta. So now see here. Cos theta is equal to adjacent upon hypotenuse. What is adjacent? R upon small r upon capital R. So capital R is equal to what is, my dears? R upon cos theta. Simply otherwise R cos theta is equal to small r. Yes or no? R cos theta is equal to small r. Component of R. Component of big R cos theta is equal to small r. Yes or no? So now we can put it here, the value h is equal to, see here, h is equal to 2T by R. R means how much? Small r cos theta. So cos theta will comes up rho g. So this is the height of the liquid column in a capillary tube. Yes or no? Got it? Another method. See here. Another method. See, simple my dears. So the capillary, in the capillary tube, the water is rises, right? The liquid is rises, yes or no? So now let it be considered this is an height of the liquid column, this is an density is rho. Who will balance this weight of the liquid column? It is balanced by the tension, we know very well, right? So here the tension will going to be balanced, yes or no? So mg is equal to, see here, mg is equal to t 2 pi r, let it be, this is the radius of the capillary tube, 2 pi r cos theta, yes or no? Tension into length is a force. So mg, m is how much my dears? Here density, mass is equal to density into volume. So rho, volume is how much my dears? Volume of the cylinder, yes or no? That is rho pi r square h into g is equal to t 2 pi r cos theta. See here, pi get cancelled, square and r get cancelled. Simply it will come h is equal to 2t cos theta by r rho g. See, another method is very simple, we can find out the answer, yes or no? What the conceptual understanding we used here? The weight of the liquid column is balanced by tension, yes or no? So simply we wrote the tension is equal to weight. So we find out the h value, h is equal to 2t cos theta by r rho g. Okay, can you please make a note of it, then we can continue the class. In this equation, main you have to remember is that what is the theta? Theta is equal to contact angle, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Contact angle. See here, r is a radius of capillary, tube, yes or no? Here my dear, here r is an radius of curvature, so these are the things you have to remember. Okay, did you note everything?
Sir.
See, by the experiment, let consider the height is came as an 10 centimeter. Okay, if the example, if the height is comes as an h is equal to comes as an 10 centimeter. Okay, now what I did is the capillary tube, in the capillary tube the height of the liquid column is comes as an 10 centimeters, which we find out from the experiment. Okay, now what I did, the same capillary tube I make it more deep into the water, whose upper height, the capillary tube, upper height of the capillary tube is only, see here, the first instant what will happen, the height is comes as an h is equal to 10 centimeter. After I find out as an 10 centimeters, what I did, the capillary tube I immersed into the liquid in a such a way that the height is comes as an 5 centimeters only. Then what will happen about the water? Is it overflow or not? That is the question. Is it overflow or not? See, before it comes as an 10 centimeters, now what I did, the same capillary tube I made it to make deep into the water, whose height of the capillary tube is only make is as an 5 centimeters. Now what will happen? What is overflow or not? Is it overflow or not? So no, very good, because the water will not be overflow in the capillaries at any instant. If you make it as an 2 centimeter, 1 centimeter, then even though the water will not comes out, it will not overflow. Okay, because what will happen here, the tension is going to be adjust, the tension itself it is going to be adjust. So what is going to be adjust here? The radius of curvature of a liquid. The radius of curvature will going to be change. It will be adjusted by itself. See here, if the radius of curvature is increases, then height is decreases. Yes or no? So radius of curvature will be going to be increased. So if the curvature is like that in a 10 centimeters, okay, when the 10 centimeter height is there, the radius of curvature, consider like this. If you make it dip into the water of the capillary, then what will happen? The radius of curvature will be an increases like this. So radius of curvature will be change, and due to the radius of curvature, the height is adjusted by itself. Got it? Understand everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you please make it note of it completely? Then we can continue the lesson. So here we have to understand, if you take a pure water and glass, then the height what we find out here will come different. Why? Because see here, no, pure water and glass, pure water glass combination. So if you take a pure water and glass combination, what will happen? I said that it will comes on a exactly hemisphere. Yes or no? It comes as an exactly hemisphere like this. Yes or no? So what should be the angle? Contact angle? Angle of contact? Angle of contact is equal to 0. I said right? Is equal to 0. So now see here, if up to here, if the height is h, yes or no? But what we took here, it is an approximately we are taking as an up to the height here only in the previous examples. Yes or no? But what about this liquid column? See here, what about this liquid column? We are missing out, right? So when we are taking the pure water and glass, it will comes as, it will give the more significance. Yes or no? We are not going to be leave here. Are you getting my point? So that is why this is an error. If you are considering the error here, if you are considering the error, then how can we find out the exact height of the liquid column? So here we know that the total weight of the liquid column is balanced by the tension. Yes or no? How much tension here? See, T length 2 pi r cos theta. Theta is then how much, my dears? 0. So cos theta will not come. That is equal to. Now see, this is the water which is rising up in the capillary tube. So now this, what is the volume of this cylinder? Volume of the cylinder is here 2 pi, see first rho 2 pi r square into h, 2 pi r square h. Yes or no? So now what is the volume of this liquid? What is the volume of this liquid? This volume of the liquid is nothing but the total this cylinder minus the hemisphere. Yes or no? Total cylinder into minus the hemisphere. Are you getting my point? So here plus we have to take as a minus. So plus rho into this one pi r square into h, that means pi r cube, then minus 2 by 3 pi r square. See here also square into h. See the height of radius is also r and height is also r. So that's why it comes as an pi r into h. So that means pi r square into h, pi r cube minus 2 by 3 pi r cube into total into g. Are you getting my point? So from here we can find out the h value. This is the exactly the equation will come. So from here we can find out the h value. This h value will give the exact value of the height. Understand? Clearly? Understand everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now see here, Actually we wrote as an excess pressure, we wrote it as an 2T by R. See my dears, here we have to understand very carefully. Actually the excess pressure we can be write in the form of T by R1 plus T by R2. Why we are going to write like this? Why we are going to write 2T by R instead of our exact excess pressure is T by R1 plus T by R2. That is an exact. So why? Because if you are taking a sphere, so wherever we have to find out the tension, then we have to take as a two curvatures. See here, this is the ball, this is the one curvature, and another curvature, this is the another curvature. Are you getting my point or not? See here, this is the sphere. So if I want to find out the tension here, so we have to take one of the curvature this and another curvature is this. So T plus, see here, T by R plus T by R. So both the curvature are equal for the sphere, right? So for the sphere, are you getting my point? Yes or no? For the sphere, both the radius are equal. That's why we are taking as a T by R plus T by R. So both is equal to 2T by R. That's why we are taking as an 2T by R for the air bubble and water drop. We consider as an that soap bubble and water drop. What we consider as? It is a we consider as a sphere. But sometimes everywhere it should not be an sphere, right? It will be an different. See why it is an different. For example, the capillary rise we can be arranged in the form of, if you take the two glass plates, and make it very near to each other, then what will happen? The small chamber is forms here. So once we dip into the liquid, then also the liquid will be rising up. Yes or no? It will be rising up, right? Are you getting my point? It will be rising up.
Sir.
So then what will happen? There the radius is two different. Can you please give me the paper? For example, see here, another paper. Give another paper. See here, if this is the two glass plates, these two glass plates I made it very near to each other and I dip into the liquid. What will happen? The liquid is going to be rising up. Yes or no? So what will happen here? So now this will come as like this. Yes or no? So now see here, one of the curvature, if you want to find out the tension here, okay, excess pressure. If you want to find out the excess pressure, this is one of the curvature. Another curvature is this is an R1 and R2 is how much, my dears? Infinite. R2 is how much? Infinite. Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Sir.
R2 is how much? It will come as an infinite. Got it? See here. So this is that. So now this distance is he gave as an D. Now the water will going to be rising up like this. Yes or no? So if you draw in the 3D also we can be draw like this. See here. See here, this is the two plates. I put it into the water. Then what will happen? The water will going to be rising up here. Yes or no? So now, see how much the pressure here? Pressure is equal to P naught. How much the pressure here? Just here, P naught minus excess pressure. Yes or no? 2T by R. What is the 2T by R here? See here, excess pressure. Excess is equal to T by D by 2. First is D by 2. Yes or no? Radius is how much? D by 2. So second plus T by infinite. How much it will come? 2T by D. So P naught 2T by D. The value will come. P naught minus 2T by D. This total is equal to weight of the liquid column, rho GH. Yes or no? From here See here. So rho GH is equal to P naught minus 2T by D. Are you getting my point? Everyone? Understand? So can you please make a note of it? Then we can learn more about it.
Sir, in the first equation, D has to come. First equation.
First, okay.
D has
T 2 pi r. G is there, right? Here, okay. G, okay. 2 pi r square, right? Okay, it is an only rho pi r square h into G. It is an volume, okay. It is the volume of the cylinder, this minus the hemisphere. Is it correct now? Yeah. So here how much will come? Rho G H is equal to 2T by D and H is equal to 2T by rho G into D. Okay, these are all the things. Yes? Okay. So shall I rub this now? Make a note of it. See my dears, in our day-to-day life, whenever we are taking the two glass plates and we pour some of the water in between that, and once we attach this, if you want to make a separate both of them, it is very difficult. Yes or no? It is very difficult, right? See, sometimes when we are going for blood investigation, then he will take the blood and he will take the two rectangular shape of glass plates and he attach our blood, and one on the other the glass plate is placed. Yes or no? So once he wants to remove the glass plates, what he will do, instead of he will pull both of them in the opposite direction, just he will do the slide and he will take off. Yes or no? So why? Because if you want to pull both the glass plate, it is very difficult. Yes or no? So in your day-to-day life also you can take two glass plates and put it 1 or 2 drop of the waters and attach the 2 glass plates. Let's try to separate it. See how much force you have to apply. It should be apply a more force. Why? What will happen here? See, we are going to see here. If you take one glass plate and put it the water drop, then if we take another glass plate and we placed on the one on the other, then what will happen? This drop is spread out here and it's become a big circle whose radius is considered as an R. This is an top view. Yes or no? This is an top view. If you see the side view, it will looks like this. Okay. So here a glass plate, here also a glass plate. I make it little bit zoom. Okay, I make it little bit zoom here. So in between of these two glass plates, see this is one glass plate and this is also another glass plate. So in between of this, liquid will be, see here, it will comes like this. Are you getting my point? So how this, see this is actually the 3D imagination. This is a 3D diagram actually. The drop will be like this in between of the two glass plates. Yes or no? This is an upper glass plate. Here is an lower glass plate. Are you getting my point? So the distance of this glass plates is consider D. Okay. Now this is an radius R. See here the radius of the curvature. What I am going to see here. This is the total radius of curvature is considered as an R. Got it? Are you getting my point? So now, how much? What is the forces will going to be act here? So what is the force is act here? P naught is the pressure. What is an inside here? How much? P naught minus T D by 2. That means 2T by D minus T by R. Yes or no? 2T by D minus T by R. Got it? Excess. This is an excess pressure. So here is the pressure. P naught minus 2T by R. This is the excess pressure. Got it? Then what are the forces is act here? 1. We are pulling out the force, external force. External force we are pulling out. Yes or no? Then weight will going to act downwards. Weight is also act downwards. Yes or no? So this force will be act on upwards, and pressure P naught into area, this force. These two, see here, 1, 2. Two forces will be act downwards and two forces will be act upwards. So if you write the equation here, so F external, see here, plus P naught minus 2T by D minus T by R, okay, into area, then is equal to weight plus P naught into A. Are you getting my point? How much value will come? F external is equal to, see here, P naught, okay, once this comes back, A, this A will get cancelled. What is the remains here? F external is equal to 2T by D into A minus TA by R. Okay, so this is also plus W. See here, not only the weight, if you want to separate the two glass plates, we have to use the external force, weight of these two plates plus this much weight we have to be pull it up. So here the D value, see here, the D value and R value, if the D value is so small, yes or no, because the two plates will attach to each other very nearly. So if the D value is so small, then this value will come very big. Here also the radius is also, if you take a small drop and the radius is become very less, then what will happen? This value is also comes a very big values. So it will going to be add to the weight. So total this much of force we have to apply onto the two glass plates to separate to each other. That's why we are get very much difficulty to separate the glass plates once the water drop will be put it into the between of the two glass plates. Yes or no? Then it is very much difficult to separate the glass plates. Are you getting my point? So that is the main conceptual understanding, the mechanism behind it. Are you getting my point? Got it? So can you please make a note of it? Then we can go further. Okay. My dear students, now we are going to be learn about viscosity. Okay. See here. Viscosity. What do you mean by viscosity? The simple conceptual understanding is viscosity is nothing but it is a frictional force acting in a fluid. Okay. So how the frictional force is act in a fluid, we are going to be learn very clear conceptual understanding. Okay. See here, let's consider this is an river. Okay. And this is the river bed. Consider this is an river bed. That means the bottom of the river. Now what will happen? Whenever on the surface of the river, if any boat, steamers will move very fastly, okay, then what will happen? The uppermost layer of a river is moving very fast comparing to the second layer, third layer, fourth layer. Yes or no? In beginning itself I says that whatever the phenomenons we learnt it, we are assuming that it is an ideal fluid. But here now we are taking actual fluid. So when I began the concept of fluid dynamics, I said that in the actual fluid, what will happen? The viscous force is also act. Yes or no? I said right in beginning itself. So now we are going to be taking here the real fluid. Okay. So now consider if there is an plate or steamer, whatever you want to, you can be imagine. So what will happen in our day-to-day life? So whenever we are taking the, see the simple understanding, for the simple understanding, whenever we are taking the liquid column, okay, we are taking in the liquid in a bucket, then if we are drag our hand on the surface of the liquid, then what will happen? The first layer of the liquid is attached to our hand. Yes or no? It is attached to our hand. Then what will happen? It will be the first uppermost layer will be move with the velocity of our hand. Let it consider the velocity of our hand is considered as an v, then what will happen? The first layer will move with the v velocity, yes or no? So what will happen once it is comes to down, when we go depth of the liquid, then what will happen? The speed of the fluid will going to be decreases. Once it is reached to the bottom of the river bed, the velocity will become as an, here the velocity will become as an 0, yes or no? Yes or no? So here see, when we are drawing here, so this is an v. So now what will happen? The second layer, if you are taking the second layer, the v will be an decreases, and third layer it will be decreased more. So here fourth layer it will be decreased, fifth layer it will be decreased, and the last layer velocity will be an 0. Got it? So why the velocities will be decreases when we go depth of the water? Because only due to the frictional force act between the layers of a liquid. Yes or no? So now how the viscosity is defined? See here, the frictional force of a liquid, act between the layers, yes or no? What will happen? This frictional force will going to be reduce the relative motion of a, see here, the frictional force is reduce the relative motion of a layers of a liquid, yes or no? So it will reduce the relative motion. It's oppose the relative motion. The relative motion of a liquid layers. Got it? Understand? Now what is the viscous force? See here, how can we define the viscous force? So the viscous force F is directly proportional to area, contact area. See here, how much area is contact the first layer is depends, yes or no? So it is depends upon the contact area. Okay, in the same manner the force is directly proportional to velocity gradient, that is dv by d. For example, if it is consider this length is an z, okay, the length of the is considered as an, otherwise we can take as an y, so dy, velocity gradient. What is the velocity gradient here? Velocity gradient is nothing but change in velocity upon change in length. Change in velocity upon change in length we can call as an velocity gradient. See, for example, consider here there is an velocity is an 20 meter per second. Now the distance between the two layers is considered 10 meters. Okay, then what is the velocity gradient? Velocity gradient Vg is equal to 20 upon 10. Are you getting my point? That is an 2 is the value will come. Got it? So this is the velocity gradient. So it is depends upon the velocity gradient, change in velocity upon change in depth. Are you getting my point, everyone? Yeah. So now F, if you take if you remove the proportionality, then we have to give the proportional constant. We are giving as an F is equal to minus eta A into dv by dy. This is the viscous force. Why the negative sign is given here? Because it is a frictional force. The frictional force is always act towards the opposites of the force, actual force. Yes or no? Frictional force is act opposite to the actual force. Understand? So this is the viscous force. Viscous force F is equal to how much, my dears? Minus eta A dV by dy. So here eta is nothing but, eta is equal to what, my dears? Coefficient, what we can call coefficient of viscous. Okay, coefficient of viscous, what we can call coefficient of viscous. Got it? What is the SI units and what is the SI units for coefficient of viscous? We can able to find out here. See here, force, if you take as a force, kg meter per second square is equal to eta meter square, here 1 by second square. Yes or no? The same will come. So here second square will get cancelled, meter square will get cancelled. Now what will happen? Eta is equal to kg per meter second. Yes or no? This is on second only, no? See here, meter per second, meter get cancelled, 1 by second. So second square will get cancelled. What is remains here? Kg per meter second. Okay, this is the SI unit of coefficient of viscosity. Coefficient of viscosity. Got it? Are you getting my point? So this, if you want to write in the CGS, see this total we can call as an Poiseuille. Poiseuille is the name of the scientist. Okay, see here, Poiseuille. Okay, so if you are writing the CGS units, so CGS, this is an SI unit, my dears. Yes or no? SI unit. Now CGS here, gram per centimeter seconds. Now what is the relation? This CGS we can call as an poise. What we can call, my dear? Poise. One Poiseuille is equal to, see here, 10 poise. Yes or no? So because this is an 10 cube. If you are converted into gram, it is an 10 cube upon 10 square. So what will come? See here, 10 cube upon 10 square. Second will be remain second only. So square cube get cancelled. It will come as an 10 poise. Are you getting my point? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Clear, everyone? So what is the units will come? So dimension formula will come as an m1 L minus 1 T minus 1 will come for the Newton. In the same manner, kinetic velocity, coefficient of kinetic velocity. See here, coefficient of kinetic viscosity. See here, my dears, coefficient of kinetic viscosity is nothing but coefficient of viscosity upon density of a fluid is called as an coefficient of kinetic viscosity. Okay, so this one simple. If you want to write the SI units, so SI units comes as an meter square upon second. If you want to write the CGS units is an centimeter square upon second. Okay, if you want to write the dimension formula, it will come as an L square T minus 1. So this is the dimension formula. Got it? So do you understand, everyone, clearly? So can you please make a note of it, then we can go further. Okay, now we can going to be learn about Poiseuille's formula. See here, Poiseuille's formula. See, according to the Poiseuille's formula, the rate of flow, okay, see here, the rate of flow of liquid or a fluid, okay, rate of flow of liquid or fluid through the horizontal capillary tube, capillary tubes is, see here, V is equal to pi p r power 4 by 8 neta L. Okay, see here, if it is a capillary tube, we arrange in the horizontal level. So the length is considered as an L, then radius of the capillary tube is considered as an R. Then it will come as an V is equal to pi p r power 4 upon 8 neta L, where P is what, my dear? P is pressure difference between the two sides of a capillary tube. Okay, then R, we know that radius of capillary tube, radius of a capillary tube. Neta is an coefficient of viscosity, L is a length of the capillary, length of a capillary tube. Okay, neta is an coefficient of viscosity. Okay, so this is the formula. V is equal to, what is the V here, my dears? Volume. V is nothing but volume. Got it? Now what will happen if we are arrange the two capillaries in a series? See, so we are going to be arrange here the capillary tubes. Okay, capillary, otherwise capillaries in series connection. See here, this is one capillary tube. This capillary tube is arranged with another capillary tube. It is arranged like this. Okay, it is attached to one on the other, sorry, one to the other, like this. It will completely attach. See, like this, one capillary tube is attached to the another capillary tube in the series connection. Okay, then what will happen? See, from this equation, V is equal to, see, V is equal to pi p r power 4 upon 8 neta L. This we can also write as an, see here, P upon 8 neta L upon pi r power 4. See here, can we write like this? Yes or no? We can be write like this, right? So this total term we can call as an, see here, that is equal to P by R. R is nothing but what? Fluid resistant. What is here? Fluid resistant. So R is nothing but fluid resistant. Fluid resistant. In a current electricity, we learnt it about, yes or no? We already learnt about the R resistant, current resistant, yes or no? Here R is nothing but fluid resistant, is nothing but friction only. Got it? Fluid resistant. So this total value is gives a fluid resistant is an R. We know very well, whenever we are going to be attached in the series connection, okay, then what will happen? In current electricity also, the R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2. Yes or no? R1 plus R2. So what is the value will come here? How much the R1? See here, it is the length is an L1 and this length is an considered as an L2, and this radius of the first tube is considered as an R1. The radius of the second tube is considered as an R2. Then what will happen? See here, R equivalent is equal to, we can write as an 8n L1 upon pi R1 to the power of 4 plus 8 neta L2 upon pi R2 power 4. Now from here 8, what we can take a common? 8 neta upon pi. If you take a common, then what will remains here? L1 upon R1 to power of 4 plus L2 upon R2 power 4. Got it? This is the are equivalent. Are you getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? So here in this equation, V is equal to P upon R equivalent. Yes or no? V is equal to P upon R equivalent. So R equivalent is how much, my dears? This was the value. So can we write this here? See here, V is equal to P upon, see here, 8 neta, this pi will goes up and it will come as an L1 upon R1 power 4 plus L2 upon R2 power 4. This is the value will come in a series. Here P is nothing but what, my dears? It is a pressure difference between the two ends of the capillary tube. If the individual pressure difference, see here, if you consider as an P1, here is an P0, here is an P2, then it will come on P1 minus P0, here it comes as an P0 minus P2. Got it? So then also we can be write very easily the pressure differences. Got it, everyone? Do you have any doubt? So can you please make a note of it, then we can go for the parallel connection. Shall we go for the parallel connection here itself? Yeah, we can go. See, I am going to rub this. See here the parallel connection. R is nothing but fluid resistant. Fluid resistance. So now if you take a capillary tube here, these capillary tubes are connected in the parallel connection like this. See here, this is a parallel connection. Then if it is connected in the parallel connection, capillaries in parallel. So once we going to be connect in the parallel connection, then what will happen? We know very well, reciprocal of equivalent resistance is equal to reciprocal of sum of the reciprocal of individual resistance. Yes or no? Reciprocal of equivalent resistance is equal to sum of the individual reciprocal of a resistant. Yes or no? So here 1 upon R equivalent is equal to, see here, R is how much, my dears? This is the R value, right? So 1 upon 8 neta L upon 4 power R power 4 plus 1 upon 8 neta, here L1 R1 L2, here pi R power R2 power 4. Are you getting my point, everyone? This is an reciprocals. Got it, everyone? So we have to just simplify. Then if you want to write here, reciprocal of equivalent resistance is equal to how much, my dears? It comes as an pi upon 8 neta, then R power 4 L1 plus R2 power 4 L2. This will come. So now V is equal to P upon R equivalent. So V is equal to P upon R equivalent. So how much, my dears, it will come? P, see here, pi P upon 8 neta R power R1 power 4 L1 plus R2 power 4 L2. This is the value will come in the parallel connection. This is the series connection. Are you getting my point? Do you understand, everyone, clearly? Yeah, can you please make a note of it? Then we can go for the further. Okay. Okay, now we are going to learn the last topic, but not least, that is Stokes law and terminal velocity. Okay. Stokes law. What the Stokes law says that, see here, viscous force is equal to minus 6 pi neta RV. See here, the viscosity force, what we learnt in previous. So that viscous force is act between the layers of a fluid. Okay, what the Stokes law says, whenever the object is dropped into the liquid, for example, consider there is a bucket of water is there. In the bucket of water, what will happen if we drop the spear ball, like we can take as an steel ball. Once we are taking the steel ball and drop it into the water, then what will happen? The steel ball will going to be comes down to the bottom of the bucket. Yes or no? It will comes very fastly, or it will come, the velocity will decreases, or the velocity will remains constant. How it will be, my dears? See, first what will happen, once we drop it in the liquid, what will happen? The ball will comes very fastly. Okay, then what will happen? The speed of the ball is going to be decreases, and it will comes to the constant. It is only due to the terminal velocity. Once the ball is achieved the terminal velocity, then it will comes to the constant velocity. Why the velocity of the ball will going to be reduces? Because due to the frictional force which is act by the it is an liquids. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Viscous force is act. Simple. Viscous force is act onto the ball. See here how it will be. So for example, if you take an, let it be, this is a liquid. So here it is, the liquid is there here. Now in this liquid, the ball is dropped. The ball is dropped. This ball will come here. Yes or no? Once the ball is comes, see, the density of the liquid is considered as an rho. Density of the liquid is an rho, and density of a ball is considered as an sigma. Then what are the forces are going to be act onto this ball? See here, if we take the ball here, let it be a spherical ball. So one, it is act as an mg. Mg will act. Yes or no? Yes, definitely. Then buoyancy force is also act. Buoyancy force, Fb. Buoyancy force is act. Then along with the buoyancy force, force of viscous force is also going to be act towards the upwards. Fv will also be act. Yes or no? Two forces will act upwards and one force will act downwards. See, when it will happen? When the sigma is greater than rho, then only it will come down, right? Yes or no? So now what will happen here? See, first instant, once we drop the ball, in the first instant, what will happen? The ball will sink due to its weight, mg. So once it's starting sinking into the water is apply the buoyancy force on the ball. First it will apply the buoyancy force. Once it's completely sink or just sink, then what will happen? Along with the buoyancy force, the viscous force is also act. In the previous lectures, we did not consider the viscous force because there we assume that it is an ideal fluid. But we assume that ideal fluid. But here what will happen? It is not ideal fluid, right? It is an viscous fluid. Yes or no? So for example, if you take two liquids, one is a water, another is an honey. So once we drop the balls, the similar balls in the honey and water, then which ball will reach first into the bottom of the liquid? Which one? Water? Yes or no? The ball which is dropped in the honey will reach little bit later than the ball which is dropped in a water, because honey will give the more viscous. Yes or no? It is a more viscous because the layers of the honey will have the more viscous force. Are you getting my point? So once it is dropped into the liquid, then what will happen? Mg will act, buoyancy force is act, and viscous force is also act. How much mg, my dears? Mg is equal to, what will happen? So m is an density. Density is how much? Density of a ball is rho 4/3 pi r cube into g. Yes or no? In the same manner, Fb is equal to how much, my dears? Fb is equal to density of a liquid and volume 4 by 3 pi r cube if the radius of this ball is considered as an small r. Okay, r cube into g. And how much the Fv? F is equal to 6 pi neta r v. This velocity we can call as an terminal velocity. Okay, Vt. So the mg will be balanced by F. The mg will be balanced by Fb and Fv. Yes or no? Got it? Understand everyone? Understand everyone? Okay, no problem. Understand everyone? So now what will happen here? So once the ball will comes sinking, start sinking into the liquid, then what will happen? Once it is comes down, the velocity will be increased due to the gravity, weight. So once the velocity is increases, see here, velocity is directly proportional to viscous force. That means viscous force is also increases. Already buoyancy force is there. Along with the buoyancy force, viscous force is also act. So once the velocity is comes down, that means when the ball is increases its velocity, then what will happen? The viscous force value is also increases. Once it is increases, then what will happen? The one of the time will come, the weight of a ball is balanced by Fb and Fe. Then what will happen? The velocity will be an constant. Okay, the velocities of a ball sinking in the liquid is, what will happen? It will become a constant. That constant velocity we can call as an terminal velocity. Okay, so terminal velocity. Terminal velocity. When the terminal velocity will going to act? Whenever these two forces is equal to the weight. So now mg is equal to Fb plus Fe. So mg how much, my dears? Sigma 4 by 3 pi r cube is equal to Fb is equal to rho 4 by 3 pi r cube into g. Here also g is there, right? G plus this one 6 pi neta r v. Are you getting my point? See now here sigma 4 by 3 pi r cube into g minus rho 4 by 3 pi r cube into g is equal to 6 pi neta r vt. Got it? See here, what is the commons here? 4 by 3 pi r cube into g. If you take a common, sigma minus rho is equal to 6 pi neta r vt. Is it get anything cancelled? See here, pi get cancelled and r cube will get cancelled. Then here it will go 3 ja 2 ja. So now what will happen? Vt is equal to sigma minus rho. See, sigma minus rho. Sorry, sigma minus rho. What is remains here? See, 2. Here 9. That means 2 will come up. Yes or no? Into g and r square upon 9. That's it, right? And neta. Are you getting my point? See, Vt is equal to 2 by 9 r square sigma minus rg by 9 neta. This is the terminal velocity. Are you getting my point, my dears? Understand very clearly? This is the terminal velocity. See here, 2 r square g upon 3 3 ja 9 is came neta. Simple. Yeah, correct. So you can go for the, can you please make a note of it? Can you please make a note of it? Okay. So this is the complete topic. This is the complete topic of mechanical properties of fluid. From here we are going to be wind up the total session of mechanical properties of fluid. Do you understand very clearly the conceptual understanding manner? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yeah. Can you please make a note of it? Then in the next class we are going to be start a new topic. Understand? Can you please make a note of it now?